So you're going to Bali, you bought your tickets, you can't wait. So what do you need to pack? Well, me and V have been a few times now and we really know, I think, what to take and more definitely what not to take. We've made all the mistakes. In this video, I'm going to take you through all the essentials, all the niceties, and some things to remember and some things to certainly forget. We're Mark and V, and this is our adventures. Okay, first thing on the list, you're going to a hot country. You need sun cream. Sunscreen, sun cream, call it what you like, you need it. Now, we're coming from the UK, and we use a product called P20. Really, really great. I use it all the time. Put it on once in the morning, I can go swimming, do whatever, I don't have to worry. I'm never burnt using this stuff. I tend to use P30 initially and then go to P20 later on in the holiday. However, in the UK, there is another product, and that is the one, it's called Calypso. Now, it's almost identical to P20, but it's cheaper. So the top tip there, if you're in the UK, get yourself Calypso, because it's cheaper, and it does exactly the same thing. And you need to think about mosquitoes. Now, we don't bother buying anything in the UK, we wait till we get there. And there's two products that are really, really great. And they're cheap. There's All Done. There you are, I'll hold it up to the camera so you can see it. That is brilliant. Now, there's also Sofel. We've used them both. I like that one because that's handy if you're out and about and you want to quickly spray your exposed legs and your arms and the back of your neck if you've been out all day. But that one there, the cream, I think works a little bit better for me personally. Now, another tip, eat Marmite. I don't know why, it has a great effect for me. Or Vegemite for you Australians. And I must admit, I prefer Vegemite. Shh, don't tell the English. And also, tonic water apparently is good. It contains quinine. Now, quinine, what can you mix that with? Oh, some gin. So there you are, or vodka. So there you are. Get yourself some tonic water when you're there, mix it with some vodka or some gin, and there you have it. Now, you're going to be moving around a lot. Some of you will just go to one place and stay there all the time, and that's good. Me and V, we like to travel around a lot. Now, when you're traveling around a lot, there's little things you've got to think about. Toiletries. Now, V swears by these. Shampoo and conditioner. Like a soap. There you are. Just like a little soap for your conditioner. And a little soap for your shampoo. She swears by it, she reckons it's brilliant. I myself, when we're moving around, I'll take my bar soap like that. Obviously, I don't need to worry about shampoo. It does save me some money. And I just take a bar soap in my backpack, and there you are, sorted. Now, if you really don't want to carry it, you do, most hotels we stay at, there is free shampoo and conditioner. So if you're really, really tight and don't want to take it, there will be some there. So don't panic about that. And talking about cleaning, when you're out and about, you know, day-to-day stuff, you know, going around markets, going around seeing various different places in Bali, and you're going to see loads. There's going to be situations where, you know, maybe you go to the toilet and you go to a place that's not as clean as you would hope. Take some of these with you. You don't have to take a big thing like this, but wet wipes, absolutely invaluable. Clean your hands, wipe off a seat if you've got to sit down on one. You know, you ladies especially, you get quite upset when the toilet seats are quite dirty. Take some wet wipes with you. Honestly, you don't have to take very many. You can buy them out there if you need to. Invaluable though. Put some in your backpack. Now, you're going to be out and about a lot. You're going to be wandering around, you're going to be going to see temples, you're going to be going to the beach, you're going to go on trips to various different places. And you're carrying your phone. You're going to be taking lots of photos, little bits of video maybe, and your phone's going to run out. You need one of these. You need an external battery supply. It's essential. Carry one all the time. I mean, obviously I carry a few more cameras and bits and pieces as well, but one of these is absolutely a must. We've been using this, well, I've been using this one, we got the same. And I've used this now for the last 4 years, 5 years. And that will give me a day's charge on all my devices that I need. So get yourself one of them. And also when you get back to your room at the end of the day, you're going to want to plug things in and charge them. And I bought one of these. I'm going to put all the links of the various bits and pieces down below. And if maybe that's something you'll want. I think I'll try and put a Bali must-have list. Maybe I'll put a document together or something for you guys. So you could just download it and maybe like print it off and say, tick it all off. I've got this. I've got this. I've got this. I need that. Anyway, power supply. I've got one of these. It's brilliant. It's got all different. I'm going to bring it in close to the camera so you can see it. You've got all different types of fittings. So you can pretty much travel around the world with this. It's got USB along the top. You pretty much, well, I'll say pretty much, I have used it all around. I've had it for a couple of years now. It's never let me down. It comes in a nice little case as well. I mean, that looks almost like it's never been used, doesn't it? But I can honestly swear that has been used loads. Now, one for you ladies as well, and I'm going to be a bit more serious about this because not my type of thing. Take tampons with you. They're really, really expensive. V says to me that they're so expensive that it's unbelievable. Now, if it's your first time in Bali, if you've been to Bali, you're going to know this, ladies, aren't you? But if you haven't been to Bali before, take tampons. They really are expensive there. I'm moving on. Carabinas. We always got loads of Carabinas. They're so handy. Hang off your bag, and you can hang your flip-flops. Walk across the beach. Do you want to carry your flip-flops? Just hook them on here, onto your bag. You're not going to lose your flip-flops. I've lost flip-flops before, and it's really frustrating. You get to one end of the beach, and you go, I've dropped one. Wander all the way back, and it's not there. Not good. There's all sorts of, you can buy all different types of Carabinas now. We got loads. I particularly like these little ones here for hooking keys on in the inside of your bag. They're really quite stiff. We use that even when we're camping. Put your keys, we put the van keys in there, hook them around the loop inside your bag, and it's brilliant. Done. Just recently I got this as a present from one of my children, and it's a new style of carabiner. Now, it doesn't look anything special, but it does this. It turns into a little hook. So you can hook your bag, especially when you're going through the airport, hook your bag over something and it carries it. You can, all sorts of things, but you can even use it as a hook in your hotel room, if you want to hang something up. If you're going to hang some clothes up to dry on a coat hanger. What a brilliant idea, eh? I don't know how much they are, but I'll find them on Amazon for you and I'll put a link. And they just turn back in themselves. And it's just a standard carabiner. The only thing I will say, if you're using this carabiner, that's quite weak, so it might not be as safe, but as a hook, a handy hook to hang things, I think it's a brilliant device. Next thing you've got to think about is a first aid kit. You really need one. I don't kid you. I've been going to Bali since the late 90s, and the amount of times we've needed a first aid kit when we've been somewhere a bit more remote. Someone's cut themselves, been stung, grazed themselves, whatever, because I'll tell you what, they rocks can be lethal if you slide over on them. Carry a little first aid kit, a few plasters, a bit of antihistamine, some TCP. You can sort someone out, even if it's just not perfect, but good enough to get them back somewhere. Really, really good idea. And carry some antihistamine tablets with you. If you get stung, bitten, that's going to help you out a little bit. It's nothing to carry around with you. Really easy. And the cheapest chips when you buy them in this country. Probably the same in Australia. Buy some, have them with you, so you don't have to worry about it. If you're like me and get bitten, that's the first thing I do. I pop it in, take one of these, and hopefully I'm going to be good. And of course you need a sun hat and shades. Sun is hot, as I've said, and it's going to burn you. People like me, your head's going to burn a lot, so protect it a little bit. Be sensible. And shades, sunglasses. You can buy both of these things there, and they're cheap. But for me, for eyes, I really like to have decent sunglasses, and I personally will only wear Oakley or Ray-Ban. Everything else I've tried, I've not really liked. Cheap glasses, you always feel like they're cheap, so if you really rely on your glasses, take some decent ones. Now, on a serious note, plastic is getting a real problem all around the world, and it's no different in Bali. In fact, it's quite a problem in Bali. And you have to buy drinking water. There is no alternative, because tap water you cannot drink, so do not drink the tap water. So you have to buy plastic bottles. Now, I would say take a water bottle with you. Fill it. There's plenty of refill points now. A lot of hotels will have free refill points. Try your hardest to do a little bit just to stop the plastic situation. You're not going to be able to do it at 100%. I understand that. Everybody understands that. But every little bit you do helps. So take a water bottle with you and carry it all the time and refill it if you possibly can. Now, the amount of stuff I'm telling you about, you're going to need a bloody trader to carry it around with you, aren't you? Anyway, some of this stuff is just stuff we found along the way. It might be handy and you might not want it. There are some essentials, and I am going to put underneath the ones I think are really essential, I am going to put the words essential, so I think they're really, really needed. But there's lots of other things I can tell you about. This was another Christmas present. How amazing is this? If you suffer from the heat, and you're going to Bali, but you really suffer from the heat, this towel is amazing. You get it wet, just soak it, put it in this container, and it is icy cold every time you put it around your neck, around your head, around your body, and it just stays like it. So just wash it out in water later on in the day and do it again. Absolutely brilliant. One of these amazing things that people find. It's not necessary, not needed, but it's brilliant. And if you're going to go swimming and get wet, why not carry a little travel towel around with you? Really, really handy, and it saves you like walking around damp. Not that it matters in Bali really, does it? But there you are, a little travel towel, handy, light. We actually use these when we're going round, so in our rucksack, rather than carrying a big towel, carry one of these. It makes life a lot easier. When you walk around at night, you've got to be aware that there is theft, and I have heard of people having their phones stolen, their necklaces taken, so I would advise you not to wear any expensive jewellery. Don't wear any expensive chains, even to the point where me and V don't even wear our wedding rings. You might have saw in our last series of videos, we made a silver wedding ring out there, and that's what we wear, and that's what we will wear in future. Just a plain, simple silver wedding ring. Wear anything flashy, and you're just like advertising it. I won't wear a watch. I've got a watch on at the moment. I won't wear a watch. But you're also carrying around other bits in the evening. Your wallet, maybe your phone. Now, and a camera for me as well. Now, I like to wear one of these. Just strap it over my shoulder like that. Everything's quite handy to access. You've got nice zips. I can have a little camera in there. I can have my phone. I can have my wallet, and it's all close to me. I've got my hands free. Chances are nothing is going to happen to you. However, if you're not aware and you're oblivious, there's a chance. It can happen anywhere in the world, in fact. So this is like, be aware anywhere in the world. Brilliant little bag. And I really, really use it a lot. In this country as well. Another thing that we used a lot last year, another thing that we used a lot this year, because we're still in 2022, aren't we, is this. Now, this is one of these plastic phone holders. You put your phone in, and you wrap it up and Velcro it down. You carry it around your neck, so when you're getting on, when you're around water, your phone's not going to fall in and get wet. Although most phones are waterproof now, but you wouldn't want it to fall in the sea, would you? We also used it in the car. If you look at any of our Bali videos from this year, you will see in the front of the car, hanging from the mirror, we had this with the phone in for the sat nav. So doubles up for a couple of things. Really handy, and we found it really useful. Early on, while you're there in Bali, get yourself a lighter. You're going to get mozzies, and you're going to buy yourself some coils, mozzie coils. And how many times have we found ourselves without a lighter? So handy. And you might even want to light some joss sticks, because they have joss sticks everywhere for sale, and you just might want to make your room smell nice. Yeah, I don't know. But get yourself a lighter, even if you don't smoke. It's so handy. Now our flights, when we fly out to Indonesia, are long. 12 hours, 13 hours to Asia, and then possibly another 2 hours on to Bali. I bought myself some of these. They're really, really cheap. They're noise cancelling headphones. I'll put the link in below. They're so cheap, it's unbelievable. I thought it would be rubbish, but how amazing are they? On the flight, how many times have you had someone making a lot of noise? You're a baby that can't settle down. People who are just generally making noise and you want to go to sleep. I put these on, switch on the noise cancelling. Don't even have to be listening to anything, just cancel out all the noise and I can sleep. Absolutely brilliant. A must have noise cancelling headphones for your flights. Don't need them any other time. Leave them in your bag when you get to your hotel room. We leave a bag at a hotel when we get there because we travel around, and we just pick up these things at the end of the holiday. But have it. Now everybody's raving about these now, aren't they? Packing cubes. We used them for the first time on this last trip. They are brilliant, absolutely amazing. Really helps you to keep yourself organised, especially when you're moving around a lot. Get yourself some. It will make your experience so much better. And they're cheap. They really are cheap. Brilliant. A lot of Bali, the beaches are quite shingly, sharp rock. And it's hard to explain because you think Bali's going to be totally, totally beautiful, white sandy beaches if you've not been there before. Well, you're in for a little bit of a shock, and some of the sharp stones and bits and pieces can be quite sharp. And I've cut my feet a few times and it makes it horrible. And some of the black sand beaches are really hot to walk on. You wouldn't believe it, but there have been times when you just can't walk on the sand, it's so hot. So we bought these. We have these, what they call reef shoes. You can swim with them on, and they're amazing. You can even cycle with them, so you can walk in them, cycling in them. But they're brilliant, absolutely essential if you're intending going to certain beaches. There'll be days when you're going to go out on a water trip. You're going to do something, out on a boat, go water rafting maybe. You're going to go out in the sea. Get yourself one of these. Again, these are cheap. You can buy them there. But a wet bag is just amazing, and it's just so handy. And it's saved my ass a few times when I've dropped some cameras and bits, and they've gone into you're getting onto a boat going onto the islands. I've dropped my bag, this bag, and it's gone into the water, and I've had cameras in it. They come out dry. They're really cheap in Bali as well, so buy one there. Don't bother buying it in this country unless you've got it cheap, really cheap I'm saying. Another must, another essential, really get it. And you don't have to get a big one. You can get little tiny water bags as well, which might be more suited to what you need. You just literally turn them over, seal them up, and there you are. Watertight bag, just to put your essentials in there so they don't get wet when you're getting on a boat to go to the Gillies maybe, or somewhere else. What rafting and you need something to stay with you. Well, I'm drawing to the end of the various bits and pieces now, and it's getting dark outside as well. Typical English weather. Here we are, 6 o'clock and it's dark. But then again, it's going to be like out in Bali, isn't it? So maybe we're trying to keep it in with the feeling. So anyway, let's move on. You need to think about insurance. We take out insurance every year, and we have a cover that covers us for 60 days in a country at any one period of time. And that works really, really well for us because we don't seem to go much more than that. And we pay it as a yearly fee. Whatever it costs you, get travel insurance. There's so many horror stories about people not getting travel insurance and then getting themselves hurt on a bike and having an accident out there. and you see it on the news all the time. Just do not risk it. And the other thing you need is an international driving license. People mock you when you go and buy these things. In the UK, I think they cost about £11–12. And if you ain't got one, you're not insured really to drive over there. Your travel insurance could be affected. And if the police pull you, they will fine you. And if you pull your travel insurance out, if you pull out your international driving licence, they will leave you alone. They're quite happy and they'll wave you on. Riding a bike, let's talk about that for a minute. If you're going to go out there and ride a bike, make damn well sure that you can ride a bike. Not think, oh, it's easy, you know, I've just got to twist the throttle and go. Because that's a mistake a lot of people make. If you want to ride a bike and you're in the UK, why not do your CBT training first so you know how to ride? I'll tell you what, you'll thank me for it, you really will. You might think you can do it, you can ride a push bike. It's totally different riding a motorised bike. And I really advise it. And if you get out there and you can't ride a bike, don't be convinced by your mates that you can, just don't do it. Get a driver, they're cheap. Get Yan, his number's there. He's brilliant. It's a driver we use when we're not driving ourselves. Now, there's a couple of other bits and pieces are handy to use really when you're out there, and it's preference really. VPN. Now, I always use a VPN when I'm out and about, especially if in foreign countries, and if I'm doing transactions which are financial, it just protects you a little bit more. Personally, I use Surfshark, and I'll put a link in below. If you use it, I will get a little kickback. I think if you buy Surfshark, I'll get a month free. So it's nothing major. It does help me out, but it's a brilliant package. And I'm not telling you just because, you know, if you want to use it and you don't want to give me a kickback, don't worry. Go straight to their site and sign up there. I'm not worried, but it's a brilliant package. And also, you want to think about how you're going to use your money out there. Are you going to use cash? Are you going to use a credit card? Are you going to use a debit card? You also want to think about how you're going to use your money, how you're going to spend your money. Are you going to have cash? Are you going to use a debit card? Are you going to use a credit card? Now, it's all things you have to consider, and you're going to spend a fair bit of money, aren't you? I know it's cheap out there, but because it's cheap, you will spend money. We use a card called Starling. It's a debit card that we can preload daily if we need to, and we found it brilliant. You get charged, but only for the withdrawals at the cash point machines. We don't get any charges back in the UK. It's absolutely amazing. There'll be a link down below as well, so you can go off to the Starling link and see it. Don't have to get it. And a few people are talking about Revolut as well. I've not used it. I've got a card now, and I'm going to be trying it this year. Next year when we go to Indonesia. So I will be able to report back at that point in time. Well, there we are. There are really some essential items in amongst that list. Some nice to have items, and some items that are not really to, you know, worry about a lot. One thing I did forget to mention in there was a waterproof camera. If you do go snorkeling, chances are you're going to want to prove it to your mates. You're going to show some pictures, some video to your friends. Get yourself a little cheap waterproof camera. You can buy one of those fake GoPros for about £25–30 now. They're not very much, so you don't have to waste a lot of money if you don't really do a lot of photography and you think your phone is better for most things, which it probably is. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up now. I hope you have an absolutely amazing time in Bali. And who knows, we might even see you there next time. We'll be out there in March. So if you've enjoyed this, if it's given you any hints, tips, anything you've not thought about, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see our next trip into Indonesia, subscribe, because we'll be going there in next March, April 2023. And in between, we're off to Paphos in Cyprus, and I'm sure there'll be some camping trips as well. So see you later, guys. Look after yourselves.